In this video, I'm going to be reviewing one of our mastermind clients' sales calls, giving him feedback and a breakdown on how he could have closed this call better. So I hope you get value from this. This is one of our 14 weekly calls that we do with our mastermind members to help them improve their business, scale their video business, and close more deals. So let's go ahead and jump right into it.
And I know you're going
You're
to.
sending a proposal. Well, hold on, back up.
Well, it's
What are we doing?
not a proposal. I'm sending over her price, or I'm sending pricing to her just because we worked with her in the past, and she was just literally trying to get a quote. So I was just like, okay, I'll do that, I guess.
Why not hop on a call like we teach and go through a sales process with her?
Yeah.
Why? Well, I'm asking why. Why are you doing that?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Do you feel like you felt uncomfortable doing that? Like, because that's what she wanted?
Maybe so. Yeah. Just
Okay.
because we worked with her in the past, I'm like,
Doesn't
I've
matter.
already sold in the past.
Sales is sales, though. People are
Yeah.
they need to be walked through things. You need to well, here's the thing too. Like, do you honestly feel like you can understand her situation and what you need to put together with her without going through it with her? Like, do you feel like she might misunderstand something on that price sheet or misunderstand the value of it?
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I definitely gotta not do that again.
I'm gonna get on to you about it, dude. If you do it, I'm gonna come over. I'm gonna say, stop doing that. Can't do it anymore, dude. Seriously. Like, you gotta. It's just doesn't serve anybody to do it at the end of the day, because it's like they're gonna, if they have an objection, it just puts you in a really like tough spot where you can't conquer that objection because you're not there, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe there's a confusion or a concern. I just like to reframe objections into concerns. Like, think of it as like they're just concerned about something, and you're there to understand and explain what that concern may be. And you just can't do that if you send pricing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, because you worked with her before, I understand the thought process. But the problem with that is, like, sales is still sales. She's still going to get worried about something, or she may have a concern about something, and you can't conquer it. So, I mean, I would still try to maybe schedule a follow-up call with her and just see, set a deadline around it so you can touch base with her after she's had a chance to look through that. So,
Okay. Absolutely, man.
how did the other two calls go?
So the other, we're scheduling a follow-up on Monday. So I think that'll close. And then the other one, we're scheduling a follow-up as well on the
Nice.
5th. But I don't know, she was giving me some weird kind of objections where she was kind of contradicting herself. So I'm not
That's
even
usually
sure.
how it is. Objections are not logical.
Yeah.
They're concerned,
Yeah.
so they're just worried about. So were these both from ads? Where were they from?
Organic.
Organic. So what was the first one? What was the objection? Why were you pushing to a follow-up instead of closing on the call? What ended up happening?
Yeah, so they were just like, I need to think about it. And I was just basically like, I mean, what exactly is there to kind of think on? And they just wanted to sit on it. I couldn't really get past that. So I was like, okay, well, can we schedule a call for
Okay.
Monday? And got them on, and
Nice.
hopefully we can go through with that. Now,
So number one, good job on getting the calendar commitment. That's great. Second thing though, like, I need to think about, it's not an objection. It's usually a smoke screen. Do you know what they need to think about, or they weren't giving you anything there?
Well, I asked them while we were presenting that. Well, while I was presenting, I was like, "Hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, hey, this is what you're looking for, and 10, this is, well, 1 being this isn't what you're looking for, and
Yeah.
10 being I absolutely want this. Where are you on the scale?" And they
Right.
were like 7 or 8, and
Cool.
they basically told me why, and I hit hard on those, and there was still like an objection at the end.
Did you get clarity on what it was though at the end?
Not exactly, because
Okay.
it wasn't pricing, because the
Right.
price fit their budget.
So the way I would go about it is, if someone's like, I need to think about it, be careful with that. Like, what do you need to think about? Because sometimes it comes across like kind of like
Yeah.
abrupt. So what I would do is like, you want to just mock it real quick, like do a quick mock.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. So just tell me the objection, and then we'll go from there.
Well, I just need to think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Not an issue. Just so I can kind of understand on my end, like, I guess what's coming up for you specifically that's causing you to maybe want to think about this further before potentially moving forward on something like this.
Mm, I just don't know if it's the right decision at the moment.
Okay. Let's dive into that a little bit. So you said not the right decision. What do you like? Do you feel like this is something that could actually get you to where you wanted to go, or you feel like maybe it's misaligned for you? Because like alignment for us is the most important thing, and if it's not the right fit, that's completely fine. I don't want to waste any of your time or take up your time with something that you don't feel like is the right fit. So I guess what's coming up for you that's making you feel like maybe it's not the right decision?
Um, I just don't think we're the right fit.
Sure.
I mean, I
Okay.
like what you do. I love what you do, but I'm just not sure right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And just for feedback on our end, like I guess what felt like it wasn't a good fit for you specifically?
Um, the pricing.
Okay.
Yeah,
In what way?
it's just a little too expensive for me.
Gotcha. Okay. So you feel like it's too much for you as far as like the content we'd be creating?
No, more so like the money side. I think the content side is good. It's just more so like the money side.
Okay. Now, I guess do you feel like the content we're creating could actually get you to that like 300K a month? Because obviously, like if you don't, then
Mm.
it would be expensive, right? So I guess like, do you feel like it's something where you'd be able to make an ROI on it? Because if you don't feel like that, then obviously that's an issue. Because all the clients we want to work with, we want to make sure they're ROIing from the content.
I mean, yeah, I think so. I
So
think
you
so.
feel like you would make a return on that.
Yeah, potentially.
Okay, gotcha. I guess where's kind of the hesitation just for you, and this is just for feedback on my end, but like where's the hesitation, I guess, for you guys on your end? Because I know you said potentially there.
Mhm. Well, Eric, it might just be a me thing. I do believe you guys could actually do something for me.
Okay, yeah, no, and this is just me trying to understand where you're coming from too. Like, if it's not a fit, it's not a fit. That's completely fine.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused on my end because you said it wasn't a fit. Now it is a fit. I guess like, how do you feel like it could help or maybe not? And if so, like, is there specific things within that you feel like could be better?
I mean, now that you kind of break it down like that, I do think this would be a good fit.
Okay. I guess in what way though? Like, how do you feel like it would actually be able to help?
I mean, with you guys being able to help me achieve my goals of getting to that 300K a month,
Hmm.
I definitely think we can do something with that.
Okay. And I guess like, what are the keys to the castle for you per se? Like in what we do?
The content, like the volume of content is very compelling.
Okay. Got it. Like you're saying, like how we create it, that's going to help you increase sales for your ecom store.
Yeah, yeah, and then also the volume. So the amount is very intriguing to me.
Okay, cool. Pause. So like I would just get you to start explaining it, but you weren't making logical sense there. Now you
Yeah.
should by the end you should before you even go into price, you should get their buy-in on whether or not you feel like it's going to work. So you really shouldn't get that
Mhm.
like I don't know if it's going to work very much hard at the end because you should have clarified that before you drop the price. Cuz like I'm
Yeah.
not going to pitch somebody if they don't feel like it's going to work because like
Mhm.
ethically inside, I don't want to work with somebody if they don't feel like it's going to work. Like what's the point?
Yeah.
There's no reason, right? But like the way you want to conquer the objections, and Greg, this would be good for you as well. And I just hopped in, but like your goal is not to get them to say yes. Your goal is to just
Mhm.
get them to make a decision that's going to be the best fit for them. And that's where I
Yeah.
think a lot of people get it wrong. Where like you're trying to hard closing people is when you try to force them into a solution that isn't right for them.
Yeah.
Like closing and empowering somebody to make a decision is different. What that means is like somebody's coming in and they're telling you everything's the right fit. They want to do it, but they're just scared or there's just something in their way, right? But
Yeah.
deep down, you know you can help them and they know you can help them. That's when you're like, "Hey, I'm going to empower you to make a decision here. I'm not going to
Mhm.
force you. There's no pressure on my end." And that's what I say sometimes. I'll be like, "Look, man, like some people when you can get to the end they're like, "Well, do I have to make a decision today?" You don't have to do anything today. Like there's
Yeah.
no pressure on my end. I'm just a mirror reflecting back what you said you wanted. And you said you
Mhm.
wanted to get to 400K a month. You said you felt like we could help you get there. And you said that this is within something that you could make work. And you would, if you saw an ROI on this, you felt like it'd be a good fit. So I'm just
Mhm.
reflecting back what they're saying, right? So like that's where I think a lot of creatives get into that like I think sales is sleazy because they think it's hard closing when it's really
Mhm.
not. Like if you say no, that's a win because we don't have to take up any more time. You feel like it's a
Mhm.
good fit and we're moving on to the next thing, right? Cuz like at the
Gotcha.
end of the day, who really wants to work with somebody if they say no? Like if they don't want to
Yeah.
work with you, who cares? Like move on to the next. It's fine. It's not
Yeah.
a big deal. But But that's where I'm just trying to get clarity to get a decision at the end of the call. Yes or no. Either way.
Yeah.
And I'm always taking like this curiosity tone where I'm like, I'm just curious about what it is that you're saying that this is a problem. Oh, like, what do you mean? Like, no worries, just for feedback on my end. Like, we're always looking to improve. Like, why do you say that? Like, what, instead of like, well, why do you say that? Like, the tone of it is very important, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
That's good.
Usually what most people do is they just don't get enough clarity on the call, where you just don't even know, like, well, why are they saying, I need to think about it. Okay, see ya. It's like, that's not an objection. Like, dive into it. And sometimes it can get a little uncomfortable and weird, but like, if you always take the frame of like, I don't care what you do, I'm indifferent if you work with me or not, I'm just here to help you, empower you to make the right decision. It's very hard for it to get weird or awkward, because like, you don't care. You can say yes, you could say no. I'm just the mirror here. That's it.
Yeah, I definitely think I should have taken that approach for both calls, because the last one, like, she was ready to go. She's like, hey, can you take a deposit today? And then she's like, I need to talk to 2 other people. So can we reschedule for
Interesting.
I'm like,
so you were about to collect a
it was
deposit.
so weird.
That is odd. What changed in that? Like, do you have the recording?
Yeah, I do.
Can we pull up that little snippet if everyone else is cool with that? Let's do it.
Then we can adjust pricing based on you not having the models.
Okay, let's see. I think I would be looking at like the standard to start off with, and then once some revenue came in, I would probably move right up to the growth. I feel like every quarter I would probably be moving up each one, like kind of stair stepping.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, to start off with, it would definitely be the standard.
Okay. Cool. So if we're not having a model with this one, that would bring it down to 1,500.
Okay.
Total.
You're giving extra information you don't need to give there. She was already like, yeah, the standard sounds good. Okay, cool. If you feel good about that, we can move forward on that one. How did you want to take care of it? Boom. Right into payment. Instead of like, I think you asked here, where should we go from here?
Yeah.
I would just say, okay, cool. If you feel good about that one, why don't we move forward on that? How do you want to take care of that? And then typically that's when some more objections come up at the end.
Okay.
Also, I think your prices are too low, but we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, where should we go from here?
Yeah, see, like, you seem confused at the end, where she's like, you're like, where should we go from here? She's like, I thought, like, you know, like, where are you? Like I like the where should we go from here in certain places, but in this one it was misplaced. I would have just been like, cool, how do you want to take care of that? Most of our clients put it on a card or they just do a bank transfer. How do you want to take care of that? Boom.
So how is this paid out? Like, is it like paid in full, like that day, or is it like payment options? How does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the majority of our clients just pay in full, just
Okay.
because we're handling their entire process with everything. But we do have other options if that's what you're needing.
Okay. I like where you were going in the beginning here. Most of our clients pay in full. That's good. I know. I think I taught you that one from our training, which is good. I like it. But don't bring up other options. So if she's like, yeah, most of our clients pay in full. Okay. Did you need a payment plan? Most of our clients pay in full. Did you need a payment plan? Instead of saying we have other options. Because when I say that, what are the other options? Can I pay less now? How little can I put down? Right. So like that's some of the issue here.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, so okay, cool. And another thing I forgot to actually mention is, are you wanting to do this at a studio?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have a particular studio in mind for this?
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll assist you with that as well.
Okay.
But yeah, so in regards to
that, probably should have been talked about in discovery as opposed to here. The other thing here with this is like just a little bit of your language pattern. You sound like, and like, I'm just trying to give you constructive feedback. I hope you take it that way. Cut the ums as much as you can because you feel unsure. I need you to have like 100% 10 out of 10 conviction at the end here. Because if you're unsure during this part, it's going to make her unsure.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if you're buying a car from somebody and they're like, I mean, like here are the keys. Like, it's a great car. Like, you're gonna be like, is something wrong with the car? Like, what's wrong? Like they're gonna feed off your energy. And like, not saying you were like that level, but I'd say like bring it up a notch and lead.
Yeah.
Like, be the leader on the call. Cut the cut the uhs, and lead them, because like more than you know, and you'll know this if you go and like buy from other people and get on sales calls. You're just like, yeah, you're listening to what the person's saying, but at the end of the day, you're really listening to how they're saying it. You're like, does this person really believe in what it is that they're selling? Like, is this person like really confident in their process, or are they kind of shaky? Because like, you could say everything in our script, right? But if you're kind of like shaky on the script, they're going to be like, they're going to feed off that energy and be like, I'm not sure, I need to think about it. So that could have been one of the things that triggered your issue at the end with the deposit.
Yeah.
With that. And then once we actually get ready to shoot, let's just say we're shooting around April 8th or April 9th or 10th, or
Go up a little more or go down?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
What do we?
What if we just set the date for payment in full? We just put it for May 15th. And that's when I'll be coming on board. Can I?
Yeah, I mean, we can do that. I can't guarantee we'll have the same pricing though, just because we're scaling up a little bit.
Okay.
Be careful with that one. You can kind of get yourself in a gimmicky situation if you're like, we might not have the same pricing. What was her thing? She wanted to pay later in May?
Yeah, so initially she was going to like pay on call, but then she was like, hey, why don't we just pay in May? Because she wanted to split it up, but she wanted to split it up like over a long period. And I was like, I mean, that's okay, but that's not ideal.
I would just say, like, did you need me to do that? Like, is that just so I can understand? Because like, we will accommodate some of our clients based on what they need. Did you need me to do that? And then you need her to like kind of walk through why she might need a payment plan. Like, I need to understand like why. The other thing is like, if she wants to pay in May, I would always try to get the payment by saying like, hey, the reason we typically get it, partially or fully done today is so we can do pre-production, we can start the process, we can get you onboarded. Because if you want to shoot in May, it's going to take us X amount of time to get set up before then, right? So like, that's why we're setting this up now. So I try to close that gap of time as much as I possibly can to get at least one payment down now.
You said that it might go up in price. If we have a date in May.
No, so if you lock into
See, you kind of got into this weird like, yeah, like, oh, like what if I lock in? Is like, now you're going to charge me more? Like, I would have left that out.
it's obviously you're going to keep the same price, and even once you do shoot with us.
Okay, so I have a couple of other people that I'm talking to, and so I want to give them a chance to submit their proposals and the good thing. So let me look at my calendar.
Number one, your level of conviction at the end. Number two, that I'm going to charge you more if you come back later thing was like weirded her out a little bit. And then that caused that I want to talk to some other people objection coming out from there.
So I have someone, today's the 29th, so I have someone on the 2nd and on the 3rd. Can I let you know by the 5th of March? I mean, 5th of April?
Let me know what.
This is it.
Yeah. No,
so I have other people that because you guys are the only ones that I reached out to. So I was allowed.
So you see how she just contradicted herself there? She just said, I want to talk to other people, but you're the only ones I've reached out to. So she's throwing smoke screens because she's uncomfortable right now.
Yeah. She
feels weirded out. She feels like there's a little bit of the sales resistance and sales pressures raised in the room a little bit. So she's feeling kind of odd. So that's why she's throwing those things at you there.
For the 5th, I can just plug and play, let you know what time of day, what time I'm available, because my schedule isn't complete just yet.
The other thing is with females. So the way you handle a female versus a male on a sales call is very different. With females, you have to lean out a lot more. You cannot push them because the way female energy is like if you push them, they're out immediately. So you got to be careful of that. That's just like just something to know, PSA. With men, you can kind of tie in a little bit more into their identity. And like, I wouldn't say push, but you can handle objections a little bit more than you would a female energy.
Okay. I mean, if it works in your favor, if you want to just wait until the day of and then just like shoot me an email and say, hey, I want to move forward. Can we hop on call? Or hey, I'm not moving forward.
Be careful of that. You're saying day of the shoot, let her know, or day of the timeline?
No. So she's gonna follow up with me on Friday of next week.
Okay.
So I was just saying that, but yeah.
So and the other thing too is like if she says I'm gonna follow up with you, I'm not trying to tear everything you say apart, dude. I promise. But like,
Oh no,
if she says like I'm gonna follow up with you, I'd say no worries. Like I could find some time on my calendar to see when I'd be available for you. If it works for you, just so we don't have to chase each other down, we could find some time on each other's calendars and lock in a set time on Friday. Because what happens when someone says I'm gonna follow up with you? Your status drops immensely, and now they they never follow up. And it just drops you to this like, oh, here's this lower level person that I'm going to shoo away for now, right? It's like, well, I'd have to check my calendar to see if I have any availability on Friday, and we could find a time that might work for both of us.
That'll be more ideal.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate your time and good luck on your meeting.
Other thing is we didn't really handle the objection at all. Like we didn't get clarity. We didn't understand like why she wants to talk to other people. And we didn't, I thought you would push for a deposit, and you didn't really push for a deposit on it either, for the most part. I think you said, well, what did you say? You said you could put some down now. The way we would do the deposit close is like, first I'd want to identify like, what is the actual issue? Because I don't really know what her problem, like I know what her problem is, but she didn't verbalize what the issue is, right? So I would have gotten clarity on that. And then if she's like, well, you know, I don't know if this is the right fit for me. I need more clarity on how your process works. No worries, Balin. You know what I could do? I could put together a Monday.com board going over step-by-step how we would do the shoot, how the pre-production would look, how everything would be. Would that help you? Yes, it would. Cool. So for that, we take a fully refundable deposit just because I'm going to spend the next 3 or 4 hours building that out for you. So we take a fully refundable deposit, and then we can set up a time in the next couple of days, and we'll go over that board to make sure this is what you feel like is the right fit for you. Does that work? Yeah, that would be great. It's fully refundable. There's no commitment. If you decide you see that Monday board, you're like, hey, I hate this. This isn't what I want. No worries. We'll just refund it. It's not a big deal. Because like you were asking her to commit on the call, but that's like that secondary tier where it's like, let's get some form of commitment. It's refundable. And we typically see with those deposits about a 70 to 80% close rate, even though they're refundable, because people see the board, they feel like they want to do it, and then they move forward from there.
Yeah.
It's just a micro commitment before the main commitment. Hopefully that helps. Does that make sense? All that?
Absolutely.
Cool.
At first, I'm like, where did I go wrong? And you just breaking everything down. I'm like, okay, all right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, and just work on those things. So like work on getting clarity at the end. Just like, cool. Yeah, no worries. Like you want to talk to some other people. It just felt kind of weird at the end. So just work on getting clarity, understanding where she's coming from, and then pushing, like I said, and going down that road.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Sounds good. I'll definitely note that for.
I'll get this recording up for you after this as well. All right, I hope you enjoyed that small snippet, and I hope you got some value from that, things you can take into your sales calls to start improving and start closing more deals as well. If you want to learn a little bit more about what we do at Master Filmmaker, I linked a free workshop below going over exactly how we scale video businesses in 2024.